Hello, welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar. Apparently, I never did a review of Vampirella 11. In fact, I was reading 12 and I'm like, I feel like I missed something. And it turns out I actually did miss something. It got lost. I had a stack of books and it was like, I thought they were things I had already read and it was right there in the middle of them. That's life, man. The big event, and I don't think it's too much of a spoiler because it occurs fairly on in the book, is, well, she kind of gets turned into a vampire. So that's like the big event, and then Vampirella like has a confession with the psychiatrist guy that's been treating her. So those are like the big things that happen here, and they totally set up for issue 12. Which even as I'm sitting here thinking about it, like I don't actually remember what happened in issue 12. I mean, there was some gory stuff. Vampirella tells the head shrinker all about her mother's life on Drakulon, the terrible deals her mother made, and it's some absolutely like grisly kind of stuff here. It's absolutely terrible that somebody would go through that for like any reason that you would be like, yo, I'm going to make this deal with, a demon. And clearly everything's going to be all right after that, right? That's not how it works. So, what's going on in these books? The writing, Christopher Priest stuff, the jumping time cuts have lessened. There's a lot less jumping around at different points in time now. That kind of wrapped up an issue or two ago. So we're on a more linear kind of trajectory. Things are kind of happening in maybe not real time, but at least we're not going back like 2 weeks to before plane crash and then fast forwarding 2 weeks after the plane crash. We're not going boom, 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 boom. Instead, what we're starting to feel out, what we're starting to deal with, are the consequences of the plane crash. The dialogue in here, for the most part, is pretty witty and snappy. There's not a lot of wasted words. The only person who I think we got some wasted words for, or from, I should say, is the psychiatrist, and I'm trying to find an example of exactly where I want to look at it here. Let me see. He just keeps calling Vampirella's mom the crazy Prada bleep, which, to be fair, like that I do like his when he's yelling at her like that. That felt good. That felt real. That felt fun. It was rough. It's angry. It's justifiably upset. Like he's a psychiatrist, and he's sitting there, and some crazy lady that survived a plane crash walks in and goes, "I'm a space vampire." How is he supposed to react to that? How would you react to some crazy lady walking into your office and going, "Yo, I'm a space vampire"? You probably would react about like he did. Like it's not exactly kind of the easiest drop, in life. It's not the something that you would expect. And there it is. There it is. It happens to him, and he's got to process it. And after all the stuff that she's told him, because that's what the previous 10 issues were all about, was her telling him what was going on. After all of that, uh, when she drops that bomb, you know, he takes it kind of badly. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but he's totally just spilling coffee on himself because he can't deal with it. People call me Vampirella. In my native tongue, the name is something unpronounceable. My mother just calls me the girl. I come from a planet called Drakulon. It's either another galaxy or an alternate reality, depending on who's telling the story. And for once, like, I give a lot of artists. Actually, I probably shouldn't give the artists flack. It's really the writers who are the ones at fault for this. We're using, like, the same panel over and over. Like, this is a motif that I don't support. But I think I could let it slide in this case, because if this was happening for real, this is what the sequence of events would look like. Dude would be pouring his coffee. It might overflow, and then you look at it like, huh? And then the reaction would come out. Get out of my office. Like, that felt pretty good. That felt like that motif, the repeated panel thing, was being used correctly. And boy, I mock the repeated panel motif a lot. Man, her mom looks awesome as a warrior here, doesn't she? She looks great leading the clans against whoever and blah, 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 blah. But Vampirella like just keeps going with this story, and the story just keeps getting. I didn't know any of this really. Like I kind of knew the bare outline, like oh she's a space vampire, you know, like I kind of knew that, but I do not have like the 40 years of lore or whatever that it takes to like wrap your head around this stuff. Art looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I don't know if this is all the same artist. A lot of it is the same artist. That guy who's nope. We got two different artists here. Okay, that explains why the flashbacks are in a totally different style than the normal art in the book, which I've gotten used to. This dude's. I presume that's a man. I shouldn't. This individual's art, like I've gotten used to the way it looks. It started to like endear itself to me, so I don't feel like all weirded out by it. But this stuff, I think, looks absolutely fabulous. Like if you told me I'd be opening up a book with Vampirella, like the name Vampirella on the cover, and I would get like crazy winged vampire warfare, demon dude narration stuff. Like I'd be like, oh, cool. And then I flip it open, and I look at this, and I go, yeah, that's pretty cool looking, because it is. It's absolutely cool looking. And I like both bits of art. Like all this stuff, it works together really well. The flashbacky stuff, the narration, being in a different style, really helps set it out from the book. So I can kind of appreciate that. Like I give publishers a lot of flack for using multiple artists in a single issue, but sometimes it works out when the different pieces of art, or I shouldn't say that, when the different artists' portions of work are covering like different scenes, different time periods, things like that, then there's a narrative justification for why the art looks different. This is being retold by somebody. So this is kind of like we can imagine this is how Vampirella, in her mind, envisions all this stuff, as opposed to, the normal artist's work, which is what the normal universe looks like. Because we soon enough get back to the regular artist stuff here. Like as soon as the story's over, boom, we're back. But until then, we got like this really cool art. It definitely fits the kind of horror look a lot better. There's a lot of grody stuff that Vampirella's mom, well, a little speck of dust, that Vampirella's mom has to go through over the course of that story. And it's cool. This is probably my favorite issue of the run so far, number 12. Because it really, we've kind of tied up a lot of loose ends getting here. And we've set up some interesting new stuff. And then we get like all the reasoning and the backstory for why events are unfolding the way they're unfolding. And it works out really well. And I'm trying to be spoiler free. So if you came here just wanting somebody to read a comic book to you, that's not how I roll. I occasionally get a comment that says, like, oh, you should do close-ups of each panel and read it to us, so that kind of stuff. And no. I'm not going to do that. I want you to buy the book and read the book. And I'm just kind of hoping to maybe show you like a little bit of the things I like or don't like about the book. So that's all I got to say about Vampirella number 12 with a little side dish in number 11. Y'all take care of yourselves. You have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I hope to see you again next time. Until then, bye-bye.